Hi everyone, welcome back to The Fold. My name is Emma and today we're going to get to know the bed. I'm going to talk you through each component of your bed so you're really familiar with how it functions before you get moving on it. So we're going to start at the front of the bed where the footbar and the platform are, and then I'll talk you and scan through the entire bed to the back risers. So we're going to start at the front. We have a upholstered platform. The platform is screwed in from the 2 bolts at the front of your beds. The platform does come out, so you can unscrew your bolts, slide the platform out, and this is then where the jump board lives. So to insert the jump board, we bring the footbar all the way down. We have a handle at the top of the jump board, and we just slide it through the little holes at the front of the beds. So it should slot in nicely there, and you have 2 bolts just underneath the front of your bed where you just screw on nice and safely, so it's nice and secure for when you get moving on the bed using the jump board. So I'm going to take the jump board back out, place the platform back in. Okay, so again, the unscrews, slide the jump board out, and then we can place the platform back in where it lives. And again, do make sure to just screw that into place when you are switching from platform to jump boards. You have a platform extender as well, so a little platform extender, and it just slots nicely in front of the platform. This is, for example, in those series where you're working standing on the bed. If you feel like you need a little bit more range of motion, I currently have a green spring on there. You can also stand on the extender, and it gives you a little bit more range of motion when you're standing on the beds. Okay, just taking out that platform extender here. We have the footbar. Of course, I've already brought it down. It's a nice and simple system. We do advise that you come around the front of your bed with both hands, lift it out, and then you can slide it in to whichever setting suits what exercise you're doing. So that's nice and simple function. And then we're going to talk about the front well at the front of the beds. So you have 5 springs on our beds. They are 2 red, those are your 100% strength springs. 2 green is your 50% strength. And then you have 1 light yellow spring, which is your 25% strength spring. We have a stopper and gear bar system, of course. So we have a lower gear bar and we have a higher gear bar. And the lower gear bar will give you slightly less resistance on those springs than you would have in the higher gear bar. They also work with your stoppers, so you have 2 black stoppers to either inside of your beds. Do make sure that both of them are aligned. These stoppers just enable the carriage to move nice and smoothly without crashing into the gear bar, so always make sure that you do have your stoppers in your bed just to protect your beds. You have 4 holes at the sides, and they're dependent on your height, so your individual height setting. The second hole from the gear bar is your neutral setting. If you're, say, anything from 5'6" and below, you're going to be coming into that first hole. And then anything above 5'6", you'll be moving those stoppers. I'll just show you why. So I'm just adding on a couple of springs so the carriage stays nice and still for me. And then when you lie down on your carriage, for example, if you're doing footwork or pelvic curls here, your head is in headrest and your feet are on the footbar and your knees are over your hips at about a 90-degree angle. So I have enough space for my femur and the length of my leg to be nicely lying here in a neutral spine position. So if I were slightly taller, I might look a little bit more like this with my feet on the footbar. So in that case, you want to bring your stoppers out to one of the higher settings. So we are sat on the carriage, so the carriage moves whether you're pushing from the bar or you're pulling from your straps behind you. Behind your carriage, you have 2 shoulder rests. In the name they are where you rest your shoulders when you're lying down on the carriage. You also have a headrest. Currently mine is flush with the rest of my carriage. You can lift it up for certain exercises. So you just have a little cube system at the back of that headrest where you have a little slot where you can elevate it slightly, or you can bring it all the way up into its highest setting. This is nice, for example, if you're working hands in straps, abdominals, forward flexion, just to bring a little bit of stress out of the back of the neck and support the neck. So behind your shoulder rests, you have your posts. So your posts are what you screw in to secure your shoulder rests when you put your bed together. And they're also where your straps can live as well, so they're neatly attached to the shoulder rest and easy to take hold of. On the outside of your posts, you have a pulley system, which is the system that kind of dictates how long or short your straps are depending on the exercise that you're performing. So the pulley system works nice and simple. It has two latches, two metal latches, and then a black pulley that kind of secures the strap into place once you've chosen your ideal length. And we can make sure that they're both nice and even in the center before we get moving. And then just coming to the back of your bed, you have your risers. So the risers slot in nice and easily to the back where they live. And also, again, same as at the front, they have a little screw system just to secure them in place. So do again, make sure that they are nice and secure before you start moving on your beds.